So, Marta has told me that Zeno Company has a well-established internal audit team, okay? And she has suggested that we use this internal audit team as much as possible when we do our audit of Zeno. So we're using their internal audit team as much as possible when we do our audit, in order to reduce the audit fee. The Group Audit Committee appreciates that the audit of a new subsidiary, there will be some increase in our costs, but it's requested that the audit fee for the group is not increased. I have provided you with some information about the internal audit team, and in your briefing notes I would like you to discuss how her suggestion impacts on the planning of the audit and the group's financial statements, and also any ethical issues. So it's the planning of the audit. So the idea is really that we're using internal audit, okay, on the external audit, but I'm thinking of, right, how do I plan for it? Okay, so first of all, I've got to say that using internal audit is a good idea, okay, because it'll help with our efficiency. They can do work for us, okay. So what work can they do? And the work that they can do, maybe they can produce some system documentation for us, because it's a new subsidiary. We need to know all about their systems. Who better to do some system documentation than the internal audit? So that will help us massively. They could also help us understand the business a little bit more. Maybe produce a little internal audit report about the business. They can also monitor the controls for us, attend stock counts, plenty of things they can do, okay? And I can tell you that actually the subsidiary is overseas. You don't know that here unless you've seen the whole scenario, but there is a subsidiary overseas, and so therefore attending the stock counts would really help us, and it would help us keep costs down. Alright, so they're the sort of things that they can do. What issues we have though? Obviously the big issue is the objectivity, isn't it, of the internal audit. How objective are they? Because obviously they work for the management, so the objectivity. There does seem to be an audit committee though, so they report to the audit committee, so that's good. The other thing that we need to know about is the competence of them. We need to know how skilled they are, how much experience they've got, and also what's the approach of the company towards internal audit. What's the quality control like of the internal audit team? Okay, so the things that we're looking for then is the sort of things is the level of supervision and review that the internal audit teams get. What sort of documentation of work? If we're going to rely on it, we've got to put it in our working papers. We want to see it properly documented. We want qualifications and the experience, maybe even the CVs of the internal audit team and what experience they've had on this particular job. Other problems would be the pressure to reduce the fee. This is an ethical issue. Talking constantly about reducing the fee. So you could say it's intimidation threat, isn't it? We should charge on how much it costs, and simple as that, okay? Particularly as it's the first year and the extra work that's involved. Okay, I think that would do, really, for our 7 marks. I think we discussed quite a few things. We kept it to the scenario. A little bit tricky for you because obviously you haven't seen the whole scenario, but that's the sort of thing that you would be aiming to get.